Barron Trump, who was once the quiet member of the family, has surprised everyone with a bold move. For years, he stayed out of the spotlight, allowing his famous family to take center stage. However, something has changed, and people are wondering what prompted him to speak up after all this time. Has he finally found his voice, or is this just the beginning of something bigger? The moment has arrived, and everyone is left wondering what's next for the youngest Trump. Barron's quiet way has always been intriguing, as he made a very different choice than his confident and charming brothers who enjoyed being the center of attention. It is unusual for a child from one of the most famous families in the world to have such a low profile. Barron Trump's upbringing differed from his siblings. While Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric were often in the public eye, attending events and being featured in media, Barron preferred to stay out of the spotlight. He seemed to enjoy a calmer and more private childhood, even though he lived in the extravagant Trump Tower and later the White House. Barron's reserved nature led people to speculate about his personality and why his family chose to keep him away from the attention surrounding the Trump family. There are people who believe that Barron's parents, especially Melania Trump, made significant efforts to keep him safe. Melania has always ensured that her son has a normal life. Many people know her for being highly attentive, even though she was the first lady. Barron's privacy was very important to her, and she didn't let him get involved in politics very often. Barron didn't receive much attention compared to his siblings, who were immersed in the family business or political campaigns at a young age. Some people believe that Barron is naturally quiet and may have preferred a slower life where he could focus on his own interests rather than doing what others expected of him, as he comes from a famous family. Although he is quiet, people are still talking about him and things have changed, making him more interesting. Barron Trump's quiet nature and lack of public presence have led people to speculate about his personality and how he differs from his vocal older brother. Despite living in a high-profile household, Barron has maintained a low profile, which has made him a mystery to those who prefer loud and attention-seeking individuals. As Barron transitions into adulthood, he will face the challenge of redefining his role and breaking free from the scrutiny that comes with being part of a famous family. Turning 18 was a significant moment for Barron, as it marked a transition in how he was perceived. As the youngest member of the Trump family, Barron's every action was closely scrutinized when he was a child. However, as he became an adult, those reasons for his quietness no longer mattered, and he had to choose the person he wanted the world to see. Barron's family life may have played a role in his decision to be more vocal, as his siblings have been actively involved in their father's business and political endeavors, while Barron had always been the outlier. As he grew older, the weight of this difference may have felt heavier, and perhaps his family expected him to take a more active role. Barron may have finally decided to share his thoughts due to issues within his family, but there were also external factors at play. The Trump name continues to dominate the news, and these outside influences could have motivated Barron to speak up about a public matter, a political situation, or even a personal experience that aligned with broader events. Interestingly, there were subtle signs in the past year that Barron was becoming more comfortable in the public eye, with his behavior and interaction suggesting he was ready to emerge from the shadows. Barron's choice to finally speak out appeared to mark the end of years of silence, as he had spent his life observing and processing his experiences and now felt empowered to use his own voice. Barron Trump, who had long been silent, suddenly spoke out, surprising everyone. His direct and straightforward words made a strong impact, with people closely analyzing each phrase and debating its meaning. Some saw it as a bold assertion of independence, while others interpreted it as a challenge to the Trump family's established values. Regardless of the interpretation, Barron's voice had emerged from the shadows, signaling a potential shift in the dynamics within the Trump family. The solitude Barron experienced may have provided an opportunity for introspection, away from the public glare of his family's life, allowing him to gain a clearer understanding of the world around him. However, this quiet period could have also fostered a sense of isolation, even within his own family. As he now starts to emerge into the spotlight, the world is just beginning to comprehend the depth of his reserved demeanor. Barron's silent years were not merely a phase, but rather pivotal in shaping who he has become. These were formative times when he deliberately chose to distance himself from the commotion, cultivating his own distinct identity within a family known for their outspoken and candid nature, a decision that has had a profound impact on the Trump family. Barron Trump's comment marked a pivotal moment in his family's dynamics, profoundly altering their relationships. The public was shocked, but the impact behind closed doors was even greater. Barron's words might have indicated a shift in the Trump family dynamics, a sign of the young man emerging from the shadows to assert his own voice and identity. Growing up in the glare of the public eye, Barron Trump had long been the silent, enigmatic figure in the Trump clan, his presence overshadowed by the larger-than-life personas of his parents and older siblings. Yet, in this moment, he had chosen to break his silence, shattering the carefully crafted image of the family that his father, the former president, had so meticulously cultivated over the years. The ramifications of Barron's bold declaration were immediate and far-reaching, particularly for Donald Trump. As a prominent figure whose public image was a carefully curated facade, this unexpected outburst from his own son could be perceived as a direct challenge to the narrative he had so ardently maintained surrounding his family. It was as if the young Barron had suddenly torn the veil off the Trump family, exposing the deeper, more complex dynamics that lay beneath the surface. For the former president, this moment must have been particularly unsettling, a stark reminder that even the most tightly controlled public image can be undermined by the very people closest to you. Barron's words had the power to unravel the carefully constructed myth of the Trump family, forcing a reckoning with the realities that had long been hidden from public view. As the fallout from this pivotal moment continued to reverberate, it became clear that Barron's comment had not only shaken the foundations of the Trump family, but also raised profound questions about the nature of power, privilege, and the price of fame in the modern era. The world watched with bated breath, wondering how the family would navigate this uncharted territory and whether Barron's defiance would ultimately lead to a lasting transformation in the Trump dynasty. Donald Trump's reaction to his son Barron's actions could be seen through multiple lenses. On one hand, he may have perceived Barron's bold statements as a direct challenge to his own authority and the established hierarchy within the Trump family. As the patriarch who had painstakingly cultivated the family's public persona over decades, Donald may have felt threatened by the prospect of his youngest son potentially disrupting that carefully crafted image. The Trump family's success, both in business and politics, had always relied heavily on a sense of unity and loyalty, and Barron's independent streak could be interpreted as a betrayal of those core values. On the other hand, Donald may have also recognized Barron's actions as a natural progression of his son's personal growth and maturation. As Barron came of age and developed his own opinions and beliefs, his willingness to openly voice them, even if they diverged from the family's established narratives, could be viewed as a sign of his burgeoning independence. This transition from obedient child to self-assured young adult may have both impressed and unnerved Donald, who would have to navigate the delicate balance between maintaining his paternal authority and allowing Barron the freedom to forge his own path. The reactions of Barron's siblings, who have long been fixtures in the public eye and deeply involved in the family business, could also significantly shape the future dynamics within the Trump clan. Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric Trump, each with their own aspirations and agendas, may view Barron's statements as either a natural progression or a disruptive force that threatens to upset the existing power structures. Their responses, whether supportive, dismissive, or openly confrontational, could have far-reaching implications for the family's cohesion and the public's perception of their unity. The Trump name itself is a crucial factor in this delicate equation. The family's carefully crafted public image, built through years of strategic business maneuvers and political maneuvering, has always relied on a sense of unwavering solidarity. Barron's remarks, if interpreted as a rejection of or deviation from that established narrative, could either enhance or undermine the Trump family's carefully cultivated brand. The public's interpretation of Barron's actions will be critical, as they could be seen as either a courageous assertion of independence or a reckless rebellion against his family's legacy. As this uncharted territory unfolds, the Trump family, led by the patriarch Donald, will be challenged to navigate the complex dynamics at play. The balance between maintaining their public persona and allowing their individual members to express their unique perspectives will be a delicate dance, one that could ultimately shape the future trajectory of the Trump dynasty. The world will watch with bated breath as the family navigates this pivotal moment, uncertain of the consequences, but certain that the stakes are high and the outcomes could be far-reaching. Barron Trump, the youngest son of former President Donald Trump, has recently made a statement that has sparked widespread speculation about his future plans and aspirations. After largely remaining out of the public spotlight for the majority of his childhood, Barron now appears to be positioning himself to forge his own unique path, even if it means challenging the established perceptions and expectations surrounding the Trump family name. This potential shift in Barron's approach could mark the beginning of a new chapter in his life, as as the public and media eagerly await to see whether he will follow in his father's footsteps and pursue a career in politics, or whether he will choose to chart a completely different course, diverging from the family's historical involvement in American governance. The Trump name has long been synonymous with the political landscape of the United States, carrying both a significant legacy and a considerable amount of public scrutiny. Barron's next moves will be closely watched and analyzed, as his decisions could have far-reaching implications for the continued influence of the Trump dynasty in the realm of American politics. Some observers speculate that Barron may choose to distance himself from the polarizing political persona that has come to define his family, seeking to carve out his own identity and establish himself as a separate entity from the Trump brand. This could involve pursuing alternative career paths, such as in the fields of business, academia, or even the arts, where he may find the opportunity to forge his own unique legacy independent of the political spotlight. Alternatively, there are those who believe that Barron may ultimately decide to follow in his father's footsteps, leveraging the family's extensive political connections and resources to embark on his own political journey. If this were to occur, Barron would face the challenge of navigating the complex and often divisive landscape of American politics, while also grappling with the weight of his family's controversial history and the public's perception of the Trump name. Regardless of the path Barron chooses, his recent statement and the ensuing speculation have undoubtedly sparked a new level of interest and curiosity about the young Trump's future aspirations. As the world watches with bated breath, the next chapter of Barron's life story is poised to unfold, potentially shaping the future direction of the Trump family's political and social influence in the years to come. Barron has been afforded the rare and valuable opportunity to shape his own journey in life, unencumbered by the weighty expectations and pressures that so heavily influence the path of his father, the former president. This unique chance to live life on his own terms, free from the shadow of his family's immense legacy and power, is a privilege that many in his position would envy. Barron's decision to speak out and assert his voice reflects a broader societal trend among younger generations, who are increasingly challenging the rigid norms and conventions set by their elders. Today's youth are more empowered than ever before to question the status quo, to advocate for their own beliefs and individuality, and to forge their own distinctive identities. This emerging dynamic represents a fundamental shift in the relationship between the generations, as young people assert their right to chart their own course, rather than simply following in the footsteps of those who have come before. For Barron, this newfound willingness to speak up and make his own mark represents a pivotal moment of self-discovery and personal empowerment. After years of maintaining a low profile and observing the intense public scrutiny faced by his influential family, he is now stepping into the spotlight, determined to shape how the world perceives him and how he perceives himself. This could be a transformative juncture in Barron's life, as he navigates the challenge of forging his own identity, separate from the long shadow cast by his family's legacy. The question now remains whether Barron will continue to boldly advocate for his beliefs and values, or whether he will ultimately retreat back into the relative comfort and anonymity of the quiet life he once knew. Many have been eagerly anticipating this moment, curious to see whether this young man, born into a world of extraordinary privilege and power, will embrace the opportunity to redefine his own path in life. The choices he makes in the coming years will undoubtedly have a profound impact not only on his own future, but on the broader societal shift that his actions have come to symbolize. This recent public appearance by Barron Trump could indeed be a pivotal moment in the young man's life, a potential turning point that will shape the trajectory of his future. The world is captivated, eagerly watching to see how the youngest member of the Trump family will respond to this newfound attention and scrutiny. Barron now stands at a crossroads, faced with a critical decision that will not only impact his own life, but also reverberate through the entire Trump legacy. Will he choose to embrace this moment, leveraging the platform and visibility it provides to carve out his own unique path? Or will he retreat back into the shadows, opting to maintain a low profile and avoid the glare of the public eye? The choices Barron Trump makes in the coming days and months will be indelibly etched into the collective consciousness of the global audience. As the youngest member of the Trump family, his actions and decisions will be closely scrutinized and dissected by the media and the public, serving as a reflection of the family's ongoing legacy. If he decides to actively engage and and participate in the public discourse, Barron could become a powerful force, shaping perceptions and narratives surrounding his family. With his unique vantage point and insider's perspective, he could offer insights and perspectives that challenge the existing narratives, potentially redefining the way the Trumps are viewed on the world stage. His willingness to step into the limelight and share his voice could inspire a new generation of political and social activists, empowering them to use their platforms to drive meaningful change. Alternatively, by choosing to remain largely absent from the limelight, Barron may inadvertently reinforce the notion of the Trumps as an insular elite dynasty, further fueling the public's curiosity and speculation. This could exacerbate the already polarized views surrounding the family, with some perceiving them as aloof and disconnected from the concerns of the common people, while others see their discretion as a sign of dignity and humility. Regardless of how it is interpreted, Barron's decision to maintain a lower profile could have significant implications for the family's public image and perception. Regardless of which route Barron chooses, his actions will undoubtedly have a lasting impact on how the Trump family's legacy is perceived and remembered. His choices will serve as a litmus test, revealing the extent to which the family is willing to engage with and address the controversies and criticisms that have surrounded them. As the youngest member of the Trump dynasty, Barron's decisions will be closely scrutinized, with the world eagerly anticipating his next move.